achieving an acceptable academic level. The first award will be presented to Darlene Doucette. Jenny Foster. Carly Furry. Anthony Landry. Marianne Mader. Joseph Malik. Sophia Guan. Shane Harris. Suzanne Peters. Alicia Ryan. And Jin Hing Yi. Our next award is the Nova Scotia Progressive Conservative Women's Association Book Prize. This evening it will be presented by Mrs. Claire Kane to Heather Louise Shaw. The University of Toronto National Book Award will be presented this evening by Mr. Bob Pembroke to Joseph William Malik. The Daniel P. Brownlow Award for Outstanding Involvement in Model Parliament will be presented by Mr. Daniel Brownlow to Rebecca Roberts. The Kelly Dixon Memorial Award will be presented by Mrs. Colleen Dixon, and there are two awards. The first one will be to Paul Creamer. And the second award will be to Manuel Nello Rodriguez. also presented by Mrs. Colleen Dixon. The William Sargunaraj Prize for Excellence in All Sciences will be presented by Ms. Rose DeVoe to Jenny Foster. The Ronald McDonald Award for Public Affairs will be presented by Ms. Sandy Jolly to Suzanne Peters. The Brooks Hale Literary Award will be presented by Mrs. Maureen Taggart to Sarah Meehan. The Music Stop Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Music Program at Dartmouth High School will be presented this evening by Mr. Terrence Hill to Ian Gilmore. I think we need some new masking tape. The Nova Scotia School Athletic Federation's Scholar Athlete Scholarship Award will be presented this evening by Mr. John McLeod. The Nova Scotia School Athletic Federation, in cooperation with Subway, presents the first annual Scholar Athlete Awards to recognize the top male and female student athletes throughout the province. In recognition of her outstanding ability to combine excellence in academics with excellence in athletics, we are pleased to present Marianne Mader with the Nova Scotia School Athletic Federation Athlete Scholarship, sponsored by Subway. This evening, we'd like to give an appreciation award, and I'd like to call Mr. Bob Douglas of the Lions Club of Dartmouth to the stage. This award will be awarded annually to recognize the contribution of community organizations to the Scholarship Fund of Dartmouth High School. And this evening, Mrs. Donna Wheaton will present this award to Mr. Bob Douglas of the Lions Club of Dartmouth with our sincere thanks. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, graduates, and parents, it is with great pleasure that I congratulate the class of 1995 on behalf of Dartmouth High School and extend to you my best wishes for the future. You, the members of the graduating class, have paid your dues. You have worked hard to meet the challenges set before you, and you have completed the task which you set before you when you entered the doors of Dartmouth High School some years ago. You will leave us this evening with the pride of a goal now complete, the Spartan spirit in your hearts, and understanding of the tradition of excellence which you continue to uphold. We have gathered here this evening to celebrate your successes and achievements and to say goodbye. Through your contributions, Dartmouth High School has grown. As you leave us to embark on a new and exciting leg in life's journey, you go with the knowledge and the confidence necessary to take the next step in your independence. It is my hope that you bring the same level of commitment and effort to your chosen fields of endeavor that you brought to your high school education. If you do, your accomplishments will be rich and various. The successful operation of any school is dependent upon many groups and individuals. To the parents, I thank you for the continued cooperation and trust you have shown us over the years. I am indebted to you for the sacrifices you have made and the guidance you have given to the young men and women seated before me. You have done your job well, and you must share in the success that they are enjoying this evening. To the staff, I applaud your efforts on behalf of these graduating students and express my sincere and personal thanks for the considerable contribution you have made to Dartmouth High School. The commitment to teaching and learning you exhibit to your students is commendable. Without your leadership and dedication, we would be unable to offer the curricular and extracurricular programs for which our school is renowned. At this time, I want to recognize the outstanding contributions made by staff who will not be with us in the new year. Mr. Bob Pembroke is retiring after 30 years at Dartmouth High School. He has served us as a respected and dedicated educator, both in the classroom and in his role as English department head. Mr. Pembroke's greatest strength lies in his caring and devotion to his students and to the school. We will sincerely miss him for his wit and his wisdom. Mr. Wayne Bourne, also retiring, has given generously of himself to the staff and students during a distinguished career which includes 29 years at Dartmouth High. Mr. Bourne has been instrumental in developing a strong and reputable science program, both as a teacher and as a science department head at our school. Students hold him in the highest regard for the sincere interest he shows to each and every one of them and his ability to communicate his love of science. Mr. Duncan MacLeod has been a member of the Dartmouth High staff for 26 years. He is a caring and conscientious teacher who has enriched the lives of many students through his teaching. We appreciate his versatility and cooperation as a valued member of the English department. Dartmouth High has been privileged to have these fine teachers on our staff. I know you will join me in congratulating our retirees on their celebrated careers and wishing them the best as they too embark on a new and exciting adventure in life. We have another member of staff who will be retiring this year. Mrs. Alicia Zahn, school secretary for 23 years, has been the anchor and mother to all of us at Dartmouth High. Her warm smile and compassionate manner has supported us through busy days and times of need. She leaves us to pursue her love of photography, traveling, and tending to her garden. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Zahn for all she has done for Dartmouth High. I want to recognize the contributions of Mr. David Chisholm, Mrs. Harriet Thornton, Mr. Steve Maroney, Mrs. Paula West Dumeric, Mr. Greg Grandy, Mrs. Carol Gallant, and Mr. Richard Perlin, teachers who are leaving us for other positions within the Dartmouth system. I wish you continued success and thank you for all you have given to our school. Graduates, as you leave us this evening, I hope you look back at your time at Dartmouth High School with fondness, a sense of fulfillment, and perhaps with some sadness. We have strived to prepare you for the challenges that await you. It is my wish that your time with us has left you with memories and friends to treasure for the rest of your life. May you realize every dream and be rewarded with a life of love and prosperity. Good luck, Spartans, and thank you.
Put it over where that box is heavy enough to hold it up. Thank you, Ms. Bell. I would now like to introduce Mr. Bob Pembroke, who has recently been recognized, to come forward to present scholarships and bursaries, and Mr. Duncan MacLeod will follow him.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. The first bursary award this evening is the Bicentennial Home and School Bursary, presented by Mrs. Lillian McCluskey to Shelley Jane McCluskey. The Canadian Federation of University Women Dartmouth Club, presented by Mrs. Jean Armstrong to Sarah Meehan. For the next award, I would ask Sergeant Peter Whiteley and Trevor Holm Larson to please come to the stage. Trevor. On behalf of the Commander of the Canadian Forces Training Systems Headquarters and the Commanding Officer and staff of the Canadian Forces Recruiting Centre, Halifax, Sergeant Whiteley would like to present Trevor Holm Larson with this certificate, signifying his acceptance to the Regular Officers Training Plan. It gets better. Trevor will attend Dalhousie University in a one-year preparatory computer science program and then proceed to Royal Military College in Kingston, Ontario for computer engineering. He'll be employed in the military occupation of maritime engineer following his university graduation. This offer represents a fully subsidized degree program valued in excess of $50,000. Things go better with Coke. Coca-Cola Scholarship, presented by Mrs. Diane Ferguson to V. Tang. The Annie Coombs Estate Scholarships, presented by Mrs. Diane Kay, to David Patrick O'Hara and Syed Razvi. Percy Dare's New Democratic Memorial Prize, presented by Ms. Donna Wheaton to Jarrett Vaughn. The Dartmouth High School bursaries, presented by Mr. John Chisholm to Jason, I'm going to try this, Jason, Wai Yip Fong. and to Tina Marie Hicks. The Dartmouth High School Business Organization and Management Bursary, presented by Mrs. Melanie Rendell to Mary Ellen Long. The Dartmouth High School Student Council bursaries, presented by Ms. Colleen O'Connell to Daffet Davies and Sophia Guang. The Dartmouth North Liberal Association bursary, presented by Ms. Sandy Jolly, MLA for Dartmouth North, to Suzanne Peters. The Dartmouth Police Service Achievement Award, recognizing hardworking, deserving students, presented by a former student, Constable Barry Warnell, to Stephanie Ritzy and Christopher Miles Wood. Presenting the plaque. The school plaque will be presented to Mr. Wayne Koviduck. The Delson bursary, presented by Mr. Bruce Dello, to James Leonard McCauley. The Leighton Dillman Scholarship, presented by Mr. John McLeod, to Carly Elizabeth Furry. The Harborview School Elizabeth Party bursary, presented by Miss Elizabeth Party, Mr. Barry Marbeck, to William Arthur Tate. The IODE Fairfield Chapter bursary, presented by Mrs. Mabel Gilroy and Mrs. Sadie Conrad, to Christopher Miles Wood.